Now we're back from outer space. And unfortunately, Bulls fans, I thought I'd find us here with the same look upon our face.
I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong.
It's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Joined by the bros, Mr. Two Letters AD, Stefan the Don, Ringo, J. Bulls take another L.
I take 3 L's to the head.
I would say more of a tough L because they can't. They attempted to come back. Your team almost gave it up to us. They end up losing 106-101. AD, I'll let you take the floor, seeing as how we got our resident Heat fan over here. Oh, by the way, if you guys are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports
weekly.
We don't want you to miss the thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. AD, what'd you see tonight that you liked, that you didn't like, and that really is the reason that we're sitting here talking about another Bulls loss?
Man, if I'm gonna quote myself at the end of the live, I said it and I say it again. The Bulls are like that kid that is not applying themselves. Like, man, like, do you see your grades? Do you see the papers you turning in? Like, you could do great if you just applied yourself. Like, bruh, like, we come out flat a majority of these games, have to work ourselves up into playing with high energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then that high energy doesn't come until we are down significantly.
Yeah.
So then,
and it's a back against the wall mentality.
Exactly. And then fortunately for the Bulls, the Miami Heat went on that lull when they did.
Yeah.
Like, now imagine that didn't happen. You know, it would be beating a dead horse. We would be matching them point for point. We have to come out and play like we plan to win. Sometimes I think they come out and play like either they know they can come back or they try to flip a switch and turn it on. But no, not when your record is what it is. Not
right.
when you are where you are in the East.
You ain't Kobe. They don't love you like that.
Right. You can't.
Honestly.
You cannot flip a switch and just turn it on. You need to build good habits, come out and execute those good habits, and most certainly build. Everybody needs to prove it individually, and we need to play with good IQ. Sometimes things are forced. Yes, you need to get the ball to Vooch, but forcing it in, like you're forcing it into double teams. You're not allowing him to get position. Like, it's okay, hold on to the ball, swing it again. You know, if you get started early on the clock, you can do stuff like that. But when you by the time you start passing the ball, it's 12 seconds left, and there's nowhere to go with it. So it's a lot to be approved upon. But clearly, if you apply yourself, you can be in these games. You can win these games.
Absolutely.
You can be in the lead for a majority of these games.
And if it starts earlier, like you said, I mean, you have to, and if we get the lights up, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in with us. You have to really give credit where credit is due in this one. Listen, I'm giving credit to Coby White for what he did tonight.
Yeah.
I'm giving credit for Coby White for scoring the way that he was able to score tonight. Look, Coby White finishing with 31 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. Now, the problem is 6 turnovers. You still got to get the turnovers down, but Coby White did what we expect Coby White to do: come out and score.
Well, that wasn't an easy
I want to see
31.
you come out and score. You got Vucevic finishing the game with 26 and 14 and 6. That's what now the Bulls. The Bulls, honestly, I think a lot of the same issues are there. And they're getting to a point where we're starting to see, okay, a point guard could fix a lot of these issues. But we're putting a lot of stuff on the play. The players got to come out, like you said, and play harder in the beginning. You just have to, because it wasn't until Billy started playing Thad and in the later minutes, and Sato in the later minutes, and not to say that Sato had a dominant night by any means. I believe 2 points in his 13 minutes, but it wasn't until you started seeing Thad in the game more that the team all of a sudden had a little bit more of a pulse. Until you started seeing Temp in the game more, that the team all of a sudden had a little bit more of a pulse. We're still in that evaluation period. We hate to say it, but unfortunately we are still there. And they're trying to get these young guys to play like we saw Coby White playing tonight. And I just think that this team is in a position to be successful, but is that going to happen this season? I don't know. I can't say that this team is going to end up as a playoff team this season, being able. I mean, you got off to this start, a slow start against a team that played last night on the road, right?
Yeah, we played on the road, and we battled.
So they came home,
and now we got a day off.
And then you know what I'm saying? They came home and played another game. You can't get off to those slow starts versus teams like that. You just can't. Ringo, what'd you see tonight?
I saw at the beginning of the game, well, just the entire first half, really, you guys' 3-point defense was atrocious.
Yeah.
At best, which is one of the things that the Miami Heat do really, really well. I saw Coby. You said he had what did he have? 6 turnovers. You cut 3 of those down. We might be in overtime right now.
Or at a minimum, this is a completely different game.
You cut 3 of those down. It's a completely different game. The whole standing around for me and just watching Vooch when nobody else was effective in the first half kind of killed me too, because everybody was just like, all right, well, we just gonna load up on Vooch, because Vooch, like I said before, Vooch been giving us the business. I wasn't expecting him not to show up. He always show up against the Heat.
Right.
It was the fact for me, like, he was in the post, and then everybody was just sitting there like, all right, I'm waiting for him to kick this out to Coby for the 3, and then we just sagged on Coby for the whole first half. Now, granted, he showed up second half, but it's about, like you said, getting those consistent performances from him, which, truth be told, I was encouraged by it, but you need to keep that up, because you have the makings of something. Like everybody else in the league swear he gonna be cold, but we ain't really been seeing that. These last 2 games we have, but
and I think this is the thing. We asked for Coby White to be consistent. Coby White was consistent. Coby White was absolutely consistent. Shout out to the Fantasy Whispers in there, man. They got a great show. Y'all check them out, man. Shout out to them. Put them up there. If y'all got any fantasy questions, y'all get in tune with them. Appreciate y'all for coming through, bro.
Facts.
The big thing to me with this Bulls team, especially moving forward, is you're identifying the pieces that are going to be on this team. Tonight, you're seeing that Coby White wants to be here. Coby White wants to play. Is Coby White a point guard? Absolutely not. We saw that tonight too. And I think we all can see that, right? We all can see that. Coby White's not a point guard. I don't know what to tell you about Coby White, what to tell you about, what's going on moving. But Coby White ain't a point guard. Coby White ain't your point guard of the future. Can he be a 2? Absolutely. Can you work something out where Coby's a 2, Zach's a 3, P. Will's playing the 4, Vooch is your 5, and you find a point? Yeah, you can. And I think that's probably what you need to do at some point. Or you let Coby be the first man off of that bench that can do these kind of things. But you've got to figure out what you have, and that's what the Bulls are doing here, going down the stretch. Now, the thing that I saw tonight that kills me the most, you're still seeing a lot of these players not know their role on the team.
Like
Denzel Valentine, and we got to talk about him. He had some big 3-point shots for the Bulls.
Hey, he said he was in this mug.
He had some big 3-point shots for the Bulls, had some strong defensive plays for the Bulls. But you have to Have to know the moment, know the situation, and there's still players that don't. You have to understand where you're at what point in the game, and there's still players that don't. And I think that's the biggest detriment that the Bulls are faced with right now. There's players that are just playing for themselves. That shot by Denzel was a heat check shot that was for himself. Now, am I going to sit here and say that that's the shot that sold the game for us? No. Because there's so many plays before that sold the game for us. But am I going to say that him taking that shot in that moment is poor recognition, is poor assessment of where you're at in the game? Absolutely.
He didn't have to make it a heat check shot. Like he got the ball, ran to his spot, and faded away with no one on him. If he just would have got the ball, set his feet,
yeah,
and he made a low percentage shot even lower.
Yeah.
By choosing to shoot that shot like he did. That's the issue. Like that 3-pointer in the corner is the highest percentage 3 you can hit. But fading away with no one on you into out of bounds.
Oh, you talking about that one? You're talking about that one. That was a tough one too. Denzel's one of those guys that when he knocks down a couple, he gets way too excited.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like let's be real. It's like all right. Getting a little open and honest here. It's like when you're 17 and you sitting there talking to your first girl. You know what I'm saying? You might rub the back a little bit. Oh, you know what I'm saying? That's how Denzel is. You know what I mean?
I just got that off.
Oh. I didn't know that I was here. You know what I mean? Like
this might be the moment, guys.
Oh
my God! My first time.
It's happening.
It's happening. We're doing this. We're doing it live. But
I'm gonna tell my friends.
You know what I'm saying? I truly think that. And listen, I'm gonna tell all my friends.
Hey, remember that scene that Orlando Constantine when he took old girl out? She told him to take his foot off the gas. And then they cut, and he went back home. He was like super typing on the computer. I was just about to tell y'all the night I had this.
That's the thing. Like to me, with a lot of the players on this team, a lot of the young players, we can talk about Kobe White, what he's done this season. I think he still can be included in that, even though he's had better games recently. Yeah. We can talk, but we absolutely can talk about Denzel Valentine. We absolutely can talk about Larry Markkinen. We absolutely can talk about. Name the young guy that's on this team. The play recognition has been poor by the basketball IQ in general. You have to know where you're at in the situation. That this game changes dramatically if Denzel takes his time for his teammates to find an open shot. You had numbers. It was 4-on-2. But you had the numbers. It was 4-on-2. If you find an open shot and you get a bucket there, that's a completely different game.
But it's not just him. That's Denzel. That's Kobe. That like that's a lot of because you had about 4 or 5 mismatches like in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like if you take your time on three possessions, this game is either still going or you come out with the dub.
I agree. And Miami was offering us the opportunity, but again, that's about being able to get back into being able to get into the game. You know what I'm saying? Being able to get into the game early. That it all goes back to that. And I think this team has struggled with that consistently this season. You have to understand where you're at. Like even a situation where you're trying to get something done and you're trying to throw the ball in to Thad Young with Jimmy Butler on him. That's not a mismatch. Jimmy Butler's one of the best defenders in the NBA, no matter who he's guarding. If it's Vooch, okay, throw it down there to Vooch. But then Vooch can box him out a little bit.
He stripped Vooch, so like
he stripped Vooch too. But those were high post subs trying to back in from high post. But down low, if for the most part, if Vooch get Jimmy 5 feet from the basket, it's not a lot Jimmy's going to be able to do with him. Now, can Jimmy still make a defensive play? Absolutely. It's Jimmy Butler. By no means am I saying he can't, but you got to understand that this is a team, or you got to understand what the situation is. Thad's not that. Thad can absolutely make that play, but can you get the ball into him? We were trying to force the ball into the post, and it caused more turnovers. We were trying to force the ball into the hot hand, and it caused more turnovers. You've got to play within the flow of the offense, and that's something that the Bulls have struggled to do. Now, the Bulls are 11th in the East. Where do you see this thing ending? What do we got? 11 games left?
11 now.
25
Only 11?
34.
It's
11
11
games left in the season. And y'all in the chat, let us know as well. And if you haven't done so, please like the video, man. We appreciate y'all. We're trying to get the chat bussing tonight. Tough loss for the Bulls. We got 49 and 15 likes, man.
I think we'll squeak into the play-in game.
So you still think there's a shot?
I think we'll squeak into a play-in series.
Okay.
I honestly, as much as I want them to, because I want them to get another free agent, because I feel like that'll really solidify what we're looking at, and I think that'll really tell us where Zach is. Like, yeah, I'm not saying this ain't Zach's team now, but if you get another All-Star, then it'll be like, okay,
yeah,
this is your big three.
Right.
You got the keys for real now, and then like we coming into
a new season.
Right, we coming into a new season, and we expecting you to do what you do.
Yeah,
I don't think that they make the play-in this year because the Wizards right now next to the Knicks, like. We was talking about.
Are the Knicks still in the play-in? I don't think the Knicks in the play-in.
No, the Knicks are definitely not. The
Knicks been getting busy.
No, I was talking about in terms of like I was talking about in terms of like win streaks.
Oh, you talking about win streaks? Yeah.
The Knicks and the Wizards are killing it right now, and we wondered how Westbrook and Bill was gonna get it together, and by all accords, them boys and them last summer games, they've been hooping, man. So
Facts.
I want to say but the thing is, which one of these Bulls teams is gonna show up?
Well, I think a Bulls team with Zach LaVine back is a different Bulls team.
But see, my retort to that real quick, how many more games is he? Because it ain't been 2 weeks. Like, is he gonna come back with like?
He's probably gonna come back with like 8 games. 7
so he got the
vid. I think he ended up testing positive. So he's 2-week quarantine. Then you have to. And again, you got to
play your way back
test positive. And yeah, again, if you're coming up, it depends on what kind of vid he's had. Because we've had guys who
asymptomatic.
Hey, look, I got it, but I feel fine. We've also had guys who, hey, look, I've got it and I'm dying. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it all depends on how he comes back, how he's going to feel when he comes back, if he's going to be off. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things that play into that. But I still think this team with a different with Zach LaVine makes a difference. This team with Zach LaVine tonight probably wins this game. Yeah. With y'all allowing us back in, with Zach LaVine being able to add scoring to what Kobe White and Vooch were able to do. But I think
I can't refute none of that.
You know what I'm saying? I think with I'll say this, and as weird as it is to say, you don't want Zach LaVine out. You never wish for injury on anybody, but Zach LaVine going out has shown us that Kobe White can play in this league, but probably not at the point guard position. And which I think we knew that he wasn't a point guard, but I don't think when we get to see Kobe White 100% of the time just be like, go score.
Right.
That's a different player.
I also feel like there's a lot of stuff that he got to work on though. Like
I do too. I agree.
It's difficult because you can't call yourself a guard, especially a point guard, if your handle is looking like you feel me. You out there struggling.
Yeah,
like one you out there struggling. 2, he can't handle the press at all.
Yeah, right.
He has yet to handle the press this year, like consistently well. Because we know if you pick him up, like the full length of the court, he started doing Tom Brady. He out there bouncing around.
Well, and you saw him at the very end in there where you got him the full length of the court, and Iggy just stepped up on him on a full court press, and he had nowhere to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He had nowhere to go. So I agree with you on that.
I don't know. It's not like he can't play. I don't know. I harken back to what I said earlier. It's like, what's the selling point? Because I'm like, for any free agent, what's the selling point? Because earlier when AD said, "Oh yeah, like it's Jordan, it's the Bulls, it's the Mounds." I'm not sure.
Right.
Ain't nobody been watching Jordan. Prime Jordan ain't coming back through them doors.
Yeah.
They're gonna say, "Oh yeah, y'all haven't been good since MVP D Rose."
Mm-hmm.
Like
It was a fact.
them Jimmy teams was decent, but y'all been trash.
Yeah.
Like, and when AK retooling because he's trying to pull a big fish. I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of I feel like Zach is going to have to go out and recruit. And what's the selling point besides, okay, like you got me, Vooch.
I think that's your selling point.
And
the East.
Yeah,
And the East.
And
you've got me, you've got Vooch, you've got a hopeful, hopefully Kobe White able to finish out this season strong. You've got Kobe White. And
but see that but the thing about that is they've played against Kobe. So these mugs know, like,
bro, they've played against Kobe, and some of the best players in the league are saying this kid is gonna be nice. I don't know what they see that we don't see. Listen, I haven't seen it.
Hey, maybe I'm missing it.
But as far as a pure scorer, look, I think he can be that. I think 100% he can be that.
Yeah, I mean, if he go, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. If he go and in the offseason, he meet up with like a Lou Will or a Jamal Crawford to like really like define that 6-man role about what it is and what they need him to do coming off of the bench, then I feel like if he shore up his handle a little bit and everything like that, then maybe you got like a perennial 6. Because I don't think he's a starter. But with the way he scores, I think he can be a perennial 6-man.
I think he can be a starter, but you can't count on him to do anything but get buckets. I don't want to see him handling the ball. I don't want to see him passing. I want to see him attacking. We saw Kobe White attack tonight. Put Bam on a poster. We saw Kobe White attack tonight. That's a different Kobe White. That's a different Kobe White. And I mean, listen, like when we're talking about this team, I mean, what do we want to happen now, Bulls fans? Let's talk about this before we get up out of here. What do we want to be the outcome of this team? Do we want to? Are you ready to get into trying to get into the draft, which the Bulls have a 28% chance of getting their pick back? Or are you ready for this team to make the playoffs and get a Zach LaVine back that possibly recovering from COVID can't go as hard as he would want to, can't play as well as he might want to, depending on how he recovers from the symptoms? I go based off of I'm gonna say Jermaine Mercedes, Yohan Moncada last season, who said he caught COVID in the first month of the season. By the time he came back, he said, "I never felt right again. The rest of the year, I never felt right." And so, how is he going to be able to come back? I mean, there's a lot. Is that the situation that you would rather have? Is that the situation that you would rather have? Because at this point, I can't root for the Bulls to lose. But if you end up with a top 4 pick, which would be very suspicious, but I'll take NBA rigging if it's for the Chicago Bulls. If you end up with a top 4 pick, AK wins that trade. And I think he already won the trade because we got Vooch back, but AK wins that trade.
I think, and this is the crazy part about it. Like I've been seeing like hacker YouTube videos, asking the question: did the Bulls lose the trade? Everything like that. I watch the guy we tweet religiously, Kenny
Beecham.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just out of mindset. We don't. I can't look at it right now and be like that. I had to see Vooch with a full season.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta see Vooch with a full season because I think that on paper, like next season, depending on what AK does, I believe he's going to do something. This isn't Garpax where they're just gonna stand with the same squad. Because AK is going to do something. Give AK a full off season because we already saw what he did with the draft. Simonovic is coming up.
Yeah.
these boys will be hooping to the point where it's like, cause I'm tired. He's trying to make these boys into serious contender, and I feel like next year, depending on what he does,
It's gonna be his opportunity.
You only get one shot.
Fourth or fifth in the league.
Yeah. Ooh,
Fourth or
that's a
fifth
big
in the
jump.
league.
That's a big
Because
jump.
bro, do y'all realize what Vooch been doing, bro? Like he be having double doubles before half, bro.
Right.
And these ain't average double doubles.
No,
like,
it'd be like 15 and 11.
I got a cool 16 and 12 before half. Nothing amazing. Like 16. What he had tonight? 16, 11, and 6.
Yeah.
Bro, do you know the only other center that's really out here doing something like that just happens to be the MVP right now? Yeah. And Jokic. Like, dude, you got all the ingredients. You just need a guard.
I agree.
And you just need some players that's gonna play.
Hey man, it's gonna be interesting because we have to also factor in whatever fallout it is after the playoffs. Like some team will lose.
Some team is gonna lose, and it's gonna be like, I'm sick of y'all.
Where like somebody's gonna be looking to jump ship.
I'm sick of this losing.
Yes, it's gonna jump ship and then look for somebody who's up and coming.
Now here's my question to y'all.
The Bulls.
Here's my question to y'all. There's two things on the table, and Jeffrey, I see a question here. Chill out with the Mario stuff. He's not even a top player in the league, but I hope he might be special. Who's Mario?
What you talking about, Seminovic?
I don't know who Mario is.
And
Marco. Marco, he said. Marco.
Huh?
That's Seminovic.
Oh, bro, you ain't been watching the tape.
Seminovic been hooping, but I got to check on his tape. That's going to be an off-season thing where I go through his tape. But Seminovic been hooping. This is the last thing we'll touch on here. If we do end up with a top 4 pick, because I think we want them to make the play-in game just so that Zach gets the experience. So, but I mean, the top 4 pick, you can do a lot with that. If they get a top 4 pick, what would you want? I said trade the pick.
Trade the pick for who though?
It's like he just said.
Oh.
It's going to be every year a major star move.
Fallout. Yeah.
Every single season, a major star move. Somebody gets pissed off. Somebody's not happy. Every year.
Cat.
Who?
Cat don't fit with this team no more, though.
What? Karl-Anthony Towns?
Cat at the 4 might fit with this
team.
team.
Forwards, no centers. We need a guard.
Well, you're about to get rid of all your forwards and centers. But I don't think there's a guard out there that you could trade a top 4 pick for.
If anybody is gonna get mad, you bring in the Nurkic because they just got the Nurkic.
2 birds with 1 stone. Hit me out on this. Top 4 pick to the Minnesota Timberwolves, along with Larry Markkinen and probably Kobe White, and more than likely Thad Young.
Or
Cat and D'Lo. I don't know if the money works out, but you solve your point guard position and
the money will work out for one of them.
I don't think the money will work out because you signed Lowry to a big money deal. You probably signed him to like an $80 million deal.
You're still getting the 4th pick anyway.
And they getting the 4th pick and they getting something else.
And Cat wants to be at the 4?
I'm probably saying it don't matter to him, but that floor spacing will just be crazy.
Like, it would be. I mean, he can shoot.
Like
Cat would be dominant at the 4.
He's the best. He's the best shooting big.
Yeah.
In the NBA.
Yeah.
He's the best shooting big in the NBA. Plus, he can pass that mug too. He's very talented. Plus, Jordan Woods at the games. I'm not mad at that.
Bro, at the Bulls games? Season ticket me, please.
Jordan
I'm just trying to sit on the court.
Right, just
excuse me. Matty Matt says you all don't have the Bulls getting into the playing game. I didn't say that. I want the Bulls to get into the playing game.
I do.
I honestly think the Bulls will end up in the playing game. This is all speculation. But it's something that I bring up because it's a possibility for us right now. We're at 11. We were at 12 yesterday.
We have to be at 10.
We got to be at 10 to get into the play-in game.
The Raptors
So who's
lost
that?
tonight. I mean,
Washington.
Today, I think.
No, so who?
Washington is at 10 right now. And Washington has a way easier schedule coming down the stretch.
But it's everybody from 6 on down, right?
6 to 10. Yeah, 6 to 10.
So
and the tough part about it is all the games that we said the Bulls would get, they got almost none of them.
And they stole a couple.
And now you've got and let's look at the schedule coming up here real quick. Actually, I might be able to do it on here. Let's see. So that everybody can see the schedule. Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean. Schedule. So
schedule.
Oh, can I not see it on here?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I tried. I gave it a try. No, schedule for the Bulls is saying download the app. But I didn't want to. So, Miami, the Knicks, the Bucks, the Hawks, the Sixers. That's your next 5.
All 5 of those losses.
Possibly.
Possibly.
And you have no Zach LaVine going into any of them. And you have no Zach LaVine going into any of them.
You just gave Miami a day off.
And we will be live for the NFL draft, Matty Man.
And then after that, you turn around, and then you got to play the Knicks.
Yeah.
Who been hoping?
Yeah.
And then who else you got? You got
You got Knicks, you got Bucks, you got Hawks, you got Sixers, you got Hornets, Celtics, Pistons, Nets, Raptors, Nets, Bucks. That's how you finish the season.
LaMelo's coming back for that Hornets.
That's how you finish the season.
Like, bro, that's tough. That's tough. And then you think
they're not just gonna let. They're not gonna. Where's that? The Knicks game.
Where's the Knicks game at? What you mean?
Is it here?
Oh, that is in New York.
We are not walking into Madison Square Garden and just finna play like we play tonight. Better not. That tells more.
I can't say that.
That will tell me a lot.
I can't say that.
Not in Madison Square Garden.
Bro, the fans are
not in Madison
running
Square
the
Garden.
streets.
There is fans in there now too.
Like that, there's legit
not
fans in there, bro.
You can't just walk in there and just be like, "I have to go play some basketball." No, there's no way.
Bro,
what you mean? I've seen a lot of teams do that.
Not Chicago.
I've seen a lot of Chicago teams do that. What you mean? I've seen the Bulls get rolled.
I will be highly upset. Getting rolled is fine if you get beat. I'm just saying they need to show up. The Bulls need to show up. Like they can't play like they played tonight.
I agree with you, but I don't think that's going to be a given. I mean, this is Thibs. It's not exactly like you going in there and they're not going to play defense. But man, tough loss. Bulls take a L, 106-101. The future does not look great for us going into these next few games. We might be simming to the end of the year real soon here. Bulls' next game is versus the Miami Heat. Listen, I will say this: after a tough loss, the Bulls usually have a tendency to bounce back and win a game. This is a tough loss. This is a loss where they came out very flat. I could see the Bulls winning the next game versus Miami. AD, what you got?
I got them winning. It's not like they ain't got no choice but to stay in the hotel. Can't go out to South Beach, so.
I mean, you can. Nobody said you couldn't, but just make
South Beach is open.
Just make sure.
No, but they can't. I thought when they on the road, they
ready,
can't.
I mean, you can do a lot of stuff if you keep it on the low.
Just
don't Christian Wood yourself. Christian Wood spotted at a local strip club. Jesus, dog, you knew.
That's the thing about Miami. Nothing is low key about Miami.
Don't be
nothing at all.
Right. Don't Giannis it. Don't Giannis it.
Stay y'all tail inside. But I got the Bulls coming back to win, man. Y'all better. Or y'all running. Everybody running suicide.
Ringo, what you got, man?
I got us coming out with the dub, but
who's us? You talking about the Bulls, or you talking about the Miami Heat?
The Heat, man.
Who is us?
The Heat. I got the Heat coming out with the dub, but yeah.
So okay, real quick, and this is just me geeking out. So Bulls red is what, like scarlet? What is Heat red? It's not burgundy.
That's burgundy.
That's burgundy?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
That was a random thing.
Just checking.
All right, on that note, for Mr. Two Letters AD, Stefan the Don, it is your boy Pat the Designer. Back at it again. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to the content. Bulls take the L 106-101. Probably won't call the game Monday. Next game, let's see what we got in here. Next game we'll probably call is probably going to be the Knicks game. Ooh, it's at 6:32. We'll be live for the show, but we'll probably just do a late start. He said, "AD, are you high?" Everybody in here is like, "What is this man talking about with these
off
colors?" Now we'll probably call the Knicks game. We might get in there a little bit later because we'll be doing the live show Wednesday from 5 to 7. So y'all get in tune with us on that. We are taking phone calls on the live show, so y'all come through and rock with us. Sure we hope that they work. Lynn said he ain't low. Hey, we're gonna get up out of here, man.
Yeah.
Y'all stay safe out here in Chicago. Continue to watching our Chicago sports content. Check the links in the description below, or just hit the links on the page, man. We got a ton of content up there, man.
Facts.
Y'all stay safe out there, man. Peace.
Peace.